Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, that's Shy, and we're here to watch the last episode we got here of Made in Abyss. Before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and take a look at some comments, see what everyone's saying. Mako Watsik says, yeah, the cradles do not grant conscious wishes. The cradles of desire. Basically, they take your heart's deepest desire and not something you vocalize or anything. You could not even be aware of said desire, all of those desires, in fact, and work with what they get. Irmu and several desires at once, not just one. Thus, they got all intertwined in one response of the cradle, and the final outcome was less than desirable. So yeah, no, this is like literally a stalker situation. It's like the wish will grant you what you really want, not what you think you do.
Is that what that video game is about?
No, I'm talking about the movie. Which I haven't read Roadside Picnic, so I don't know if like the context is different. So I wanted to reference the movie, but the movie is also the same name as the video game. The video game is completely different. Yeah, no, the naming conventions of the movie, video game, and book are all kind of like all over the place. But no, like it's still very much that same context.
So wait, the Stalker video game is based on a book?
Yes. Book and movie. Essentially they all kind of go for some of the same feel, but the Stalker video game kind of goes out of its way to be pretty different. It's more like a minor politics simulator where you also have a gun and there's weird stuff happening.
This is the game where a bunch of cops try and kill a little girl, right?
You're thinking of a different game. I'm Stalker Shadows of Chernobyl, where you're a random dude going into the Chernobyl exclusion zone and throwing screws at things, hoping that nothing bad happens.
Didn't play that one either.
Yeah. All right. So that's all we got for that comment. Let's check out what Dana Tabori has for us today. Let me go ahead and take a nice inhale of breath here. I was really happy when I saw this for the first time. It's exciting to see Reg before he lost his memories. So he spoke a different language and someone sent him up to get their Haku. I'm with you on that being Liza specifically based on the season 1 scenes where Reg and Liza speak to each other. I'm really curious about how we'll meet Liza eventually. I mean, she is shown as this bratty but friendly and beautiful person. Meanwhile, all the other White Whistles, except for Rico, are all clothed in black and have weird relics that give them powers and are super mysterious. I'd love to see them even more badass Liza covered in black with crazy powerful relics. I read somewhere that maybe Liza will be the main villain in the end, seeing how the author portrayed Bondrewd and Wazikiana as major villains, but not being cartoonishly evil. I could imagine Liza turning into a villain too. I don't know, that Bondrewd's pretty evil.
I've got so many comments. I don't know if I should say them before the episode or after the episode.
I gotta take a breath. Go ahead and say it now if you want.
No, I mean about Bondrewd.
Fair enough.
Guys, with these long comments, you're literally killing Griffin.
Yeah.
Cool.
I give my last breath for commentary. We also got a bit more.
Can we get a like, comment, and subscribe for that sacrifice, and an F in chat? Thank you.
Yes, please, F's down below, everyone. We also got a bit more of the mystery of Reg's name. He himself said that Reg is his name before he was called him Reg too. By the way, Rico names Reg after a dog she had, which could be seen as a throwaway line, but there actually is a bonus chapter in the manga that shows even a younger Rico having that dog. I just thought of something. They announced some kind of continuation of the anime, even though there isn't material for the manga currently. We've talked about that a bit. What did they decide to animate the bonus chapters they've skipped through season 1 and 2 and the movie? It's not just bonus chapters, especially in the movie, but they cut out some scenes. Like there's one where Prushka makes black whistles for the Umbra Hands, Bondrewd's people. I don't think they skipped enough material to make even one whole season, but that's the thing. We don't even know what this project will be. Maybe it's some sort of short OVA episode that are a couple minutes long, who knows.
I just want to add, I love it whenever a commenter throws in their own little narrative, like, I just thought of something. Because for me, who maybe not be looking directly at the screen, thinks that Griffin is about to interject his own thoughts. So I look back over at the notes of the comments. It's like, oh, he's just reading still.
Next comment is, hey, I think Griffin should say the following. No. But no, we got like those smaller episodes, so those worked out. So maybe we'll get more. Uh, Earlier, I was too harsh on the music for this season. I still prefer Kevin Penkin's work from season 1 and the movie overall, but especially this episode gave me so many feelings just by the music. So this might be my favorite episode music-wise from season 2. I don't remember how good it will get later, so we'll see. Oh yeah, no, like the music at the tail end here of season 2 is like really stealing the show. It's great. Any opinions on the entire rest of all this?
But the whole Bondru, this villain thing. You guys remember a while back I said I was spoiled to something?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
spoiler still hasn't come through in the anime yet. Like,
Oh, so that'll be this time then, hopefully.
well, or it might not show up at all. Apparently, the stuff I'm talking about, or the stuff that I know, happens like during season 1 and throughout. Like it's talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ozen brings it up, but I don't think Ozen brought it up in the show. So it's just like they've omitted it for some reason. So I'm thinking, and it has something to do with Bondred as well, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is see if it comes up in this episode, and if it doesn't, I'll bring it up in the post. Because I don't want to spoil it if it's about to come up.
Okay, that's fair enough. I did like the little part where Rico had the dog named Reg. I completely missed that line because it was probably a throwaway at the time. But now it suddenly has more connections, which means Liza must have come up after having met Reg, named a dog, given it to Rico, then left. Which is hilarious. So let's see. More comments. The war on reactors. Oh, what a name.
Would you like me to take the next couple so you can have a little break?
Go ahead.
You looked like you were falling apart there for a second. I got you. The war on reactors says, in Reg's flashback, we see him carrying what appears to be the wrapped blaze reap on his back, which Ozen later gives to Rico. His hooded cloak seems to have been damaged quite a bit between the flashback and when he is on the surface, and he states that he only has one shot left at the incinerator and doesn't know what will happen the next time he uses it.
Oh yeah, early on they were very worried about ever using that.
Well, he's talking about that in the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I also continued that conversation with that specific commenter, and I think their insinuation was Reg lost all of his memories because he used that last shot.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
would make sense.
Which I guess could also possibly be the shot that saves Rico in episode 1.
Yeah, I could see that.
That really does tie everything together very neatly, doesn't it? It also creates some fun tension for later, doesn't it?
Well,
I like it.
Can you imagine the dramatic humor involved if Reg was not coming up for Rico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he had some sort of world-changing important mission that he needed to reach the surface for, and there, what was he, like 30 meters away from the surface? Mm-hmm. Fires his last shot to save somebody, forgets that he's there, I don't know, say carrying the cure for a disease or something, and starts going back down again.
Yup. All the way down to places where people can't go back up.
Well, it doesn't affect Reg.
Reg's a Chad like that.
What we got next?
Jason Brennan says, the red-hot iron rain of the sixth layer was referenced back in the second or third episode of season 1 and mentioned again in the bedtime story Nanachi was reading to Mitty in the finale. I think probably just very hot rock being shot out from the volcanic vents.
Yeah, they even show it.
Might be a bit premature to judge the significance of the Reg Fuputa fight since the conflict that sparked it is yet to be resolved. While Nanachi's new outfit is rather similar to the previous one, it is a bit more than a simple recolor.
It's power armor. It's awesome.
Leaving aside that Theta's proposal constitutes an even more significant divergence from the manga, I also suspect the audience might be annoyed at having to wait 3 to 4 episodes to catch up with the Rikotachi.
The thing I appreciate the most is hearing that I've come up with something that's thought-provoking, and yet I've forgotten what the hell I've said.
Yeah, right? Let's see, Reg said that his mentor said it was important to quote-unquote keep up appearances.
Yeah, think about it. That doesn't sound like a Liza thing from what we know of Liza so far. But we'll find out.
And the letter Rico found said, "At the Netherworld's bottom, I'll be waiting," though, according to Ozen at least, the letter didn't appear to be from Liza at all.
In your face, Griff.
At the bottom of the abyss is death. Specifically, death from the new Puss in Boots. It's just a wolf with two sides. Yeah.
It's just Leader from the surface who's down there waiting to slap her around for leaving without permission.
And that's what you get.
I don't know, a lot of people have this theory that the abyss just keeps getting deeper.
It's trying to become a bottomless hole.
It is the metaphor for longing. That's like the thesis of the show and all that. So, yeah, no, that would check out.
I mean,
the more you want, the deeper it goes.
I'd have more to say on it, but it ties back into that thing that I can't say until after the episode, so.
And then you get to hold on to it.
And Adjudicator says, Wazukion is really like a very charismatic, street-smart, and cunning politician who will do everything in his power for mutual benefit for himself and also his people's interest when they coincide. He willingly makes the hard decisions so that no one else has to, and he probably knows and understands what he does may be morally reprehensible, but he will make these hard decisions nonetheless. If his followers survive his machinations and long-term plans, great, yay. If there are casualties, there is little time to mourn. Let us honor their sacrifice and push on, no time to rest easy. He willingly pays the butcher's bill if it does help him and his people push on, whatever the cost. Even if you are the subject of his manipulative machinations, no hard feelings. I did what I had to do. Just note that Wazukion never really gives direct orders or commands. He just questions, then gives suggestions to assist and nudge the outcome to a plan, just like what a cunning politician would. Even if you know you are being screwed over by his machinations, but you can't help but respect his charisma, his dedication to his goals, and his attempts to try and make his victory also beneficial to his people.
I mean, sure.
He's like a more Machiavellian Bondrude.
Well, I mean...
Oh, gosh.
we don't know what his goals are, though, is the thing.
Right. It's very much like the means and ends kind of thing, but we have no idea what the ends are because we haven't gotten there. We got 48 minutes of that.
We just know the means forced a child to perpetually give stillborn birth for all of eternity.
You know who he is? Who was the rich guy from Gargoyles?
Xanatos.
Xanatos, yeah. He was Xanatos from Gargoyles. His losses are wins, his wins are wins, and we have no idea what the fuck he's up to.
But he'll get those gargoyles next time.
The long-term plan is a series of losses culminating in a victory. I had to sacrifice all these children in order to pass to level 7.
Yeah. Gross.
High five, Bondrude.
High five, Bondrude.
So, like,
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Yeah, no one made an abyss. It's gotta end on, like, this bittersweet, tragic, but also optimistic note. So, I mean, it can't be all bad, right?
Well, I mean... God, what was episode 13 of season 1? Episode 12 is where we euthanized Mitty, right? That was episode 12, not 13?
Ah, I can actually scroll up real quick. Do Black Whistle. Not sure. I mean, I'm just trying to find it.
I could find that easy. I don't know.
There's a lot more reading to do than I thought.
I want to say it happened in episode 12. Reg euthanizes Mitty. And then... So yeah, I don't think the first season ended on a horribly depressing note. Because it had
Right.
to lead us off onto the movie, which then... God, yeah, I think...
That one left on a pretty heavy note, though.
Well, I mean, because we didn't... Well, yeah, we did. I'm trying to The movie is difficult to parse. As I stated back when we were watching it, it went too heavy on emotion fight, emotion fight, emotion fight. Like, I didn't get a second to, like... I was holding my breath the whole time. In a lot of places, that'd be awesome, but I really wish I could have gotten all my emotion in 1 to 3 spots, and then just the fight by itself.
It is episode 13 where Mitty gets laser beamed.
Alright, never mind. I guess we'll be destroyed today.
Hell yeah, okay. Let's take it even harder today. But let's talk about last time real quick. Let's just go over what happened. In episode Value, Fufuda knocks Reg out and then tries to attack Rico, believing her to be the reason for his amnesia. However, her companion Gaburon intervenes, shielding Rico and taking heavy damage in the process. Nanachi and Beloff then arrive, with Beloff allowing Fufuda to attack him. As she kills him, Beloff transfers his memories of Waco and Iryu to her, wishing for her to find her own value. Fufuda is left confused at the new memory she has received, giving the other villagers and Nanachi time to evacuate Rico. However, with the village barrier breached, monsters from the outside begin to enter and attack the villagers. Fufuda tries to repel the beast, but is quickly overwhelmed and left near death, while Gaburon sacrifices itself to protect her. As she lay dying, several villagers come and begin feeding parts of themselves to her, transferring their value to her so she can regenerate herself. Conflicted by the show of compassion by the villagers she is supposed to destroy, Fufuda fully regenerates and heads back out to challenge the monsters once again.
Yeah,
God, I
she
can't
was
wait.
mid-fight at the end of the episode, right?
Right, she's still on warpath, but to what end, it could be anything now.
I guess questions in the
He's
air.
gonna go mess up a couple of those dragons, not just the one.
Giraffe dragons.
Yeah, I love them.
I
They're
guess
kind of cute.
I guess if you replace the D with a
Dragons.
G, it's still kind of dragons, right?
Dragons.
Dragons. Dragons.
Anyway, questions in the air. How does Wazukian plan to survive?
I believe he is holding Waco
He's holding
hostage.
Rico of Waco. Yeah, of Waco hostage.
No, but I mean, the environment outside of the city will still destroy him, like everybody else.
Whatever
So-
his plan is, it's got to be one where people somehow become immunized to the outside, right?
He's gonna put a fishbowl over his head.
Or a brand new village springs up or something.
Well, he wouldn't be able to leave the new village then. And
Honestly,
we got the whole
can
thing.
I be honest with you?
Yeah, where
I
everyone
really
wants to
feel
adventure
like
again.
I really feel like Voiko's gonna find some way to become a new tree and make everyone alive again.
I'm feeling
thing
that
is-
vibe a bit too.
I don't have any reason to think this. I just do.
Well, the thing is, last episode we had the whole thing about they want to go deeper, which means that they want to keep exploring, which is the only reason why I don't think the
All right,
new tree thing is going to be his plan.
but wait, no.
I don't
The
think
new
it's his
tree-
plan. I think it's what Voiko's just going to do.
Fueco's gonna become like a new tree, but it's gonna have like crab legs and like control sticks, so they can like move their village around like a mech and go deeper.
I don't think it's a viable plan.
I want the
Are
moving
you
crab
saying
city.
this incredibly goofy idea isn't going to happen? No.
Well, it just
I want it though.
means that they won't be able to fit through tight spaces. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying it doesn't seem
You
like a
just need
viable
like digger
plan.
crab claws on the front,
Well, because I mean, we already know that what's her name was capable of moving before she became the giant city that she became.
Right. This definitely does have to end or like arrive at a moment where Waco and Fukuda do engage directly with each other and such, right? Like that has to be like the climax of all of this.
Does it have to? I'm trying to think, does Made in Abyss subvert expectations in direct ways?
I don't know, but I do know that they're pretty decent at wrapping up their storylines enough.
Hmm.
I don't know. My first thought is going back to the Bondrewd fight during the movie, where we just stop fighting and then we start trading, and that all happens off screen, and we come back to. It's like, I don't know. I didn't wrap up pretty well.
Well, one of the Bondrewds died, and that's why they stopped fighting. It's not like they like stopped mid beating each other. Everyone, that thing you have, you $5? Yeah, sounds
Right.
good.
But I mean, they didn't pull the shonen move. Would be another Bondrew just flies out from somewhere in the city and starts fighting all over again. What they did
Jiraiya
was
versus Pain,
Pops out of
to
the
be
water,
honest.
yeah,
kills Krillin.
what they did is they faded to black, and in that fade to black, we just sat down, had negotiation, traded goods, and then we fade back on to them leaving the city just fine. So that was kind of a subverting expectation there.
Right.
Honestly, I honestly just all week I've been looking forward to Fukuda ripping apart all these monsters. Like
Oh yeah.
everything else that comes with it, I'm sure it's going to be great and it's going to be good and wrap up and figure out what we're doing. But I just want to see her destroy shit. I am like so hyped for this.
I imagine a
We
good portion of
I
it has
love
to
the
be
action scenes in this.
has to be her fight because we're double length, right?
Yeah.
Right. We had 10 episodes of just hanging around the village, having a good time and talking. Action now. Let's do all the action right now here at the end.
Yeah, it did seem really out of place. But then again, I guess we did get like 2 or 3 episodes in the city of them just hanging around in episode season 1, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of more of that, just with really strange people.
Just establishing the setting is all they're doing.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean,
we love that part of it.
I could have given or taken it. But
I love setting establishment.
well, no,
Oh,
it's
gosh.
just what the commenters were telling us that
Yeah.
we didn't find out about like all the backstory stuff. It was presented in the manga in a different way, and they changed it for the animation. And I think I could have done with more of the backstory stuff, and then just suddenly catching up with Rico and gang.
Right.
I think that would have been my preference.
All right. So do we have any last comments before we get started?
You want to make a... Okay, Shy. We really have to watch Death Parade at some point. Do you want to make a bet about how this episode is going to end?
Not particularly, because I don't have any thoughts on it, so I feel like it'd be a really weird thing to bet on.
Well,
It's really hard to predict.
it's the whole Price is Right rules, right? Closest without going over.
I feel like that's an abstract one right here.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still abstract how do I think Jurassic Park is going to end, right?
I don't know. Give me a stance to bet on here.
I mean, Griff, give us 2 different endings.
Yeah. I'll pick my
ending-
favorite.
Ending number 1. All the villagers that are named that we've been talking to survive and continue down below on an adventure with the party. That would be number 1. Option 2. There is a brand new village and everyone stays there and now has entirely brand new things to value.
Shy, you literally already said one of these.
Yeah. Do they stay or
Yeah,
do they
I don't
go?
like either of them though.
I think that might be like the easiest thing to predict that's going to happen.
Well, I instantly didn't like number 1, and then I already didn't agree verbally with number 2, so...
All right, we'll find a different thing to bet on for Death Parade. I don't know if I'm feeling this one.
In that case, let's just go ahead and enjoy the ending, and let's go ahead and watch.
I'm gonna say,
Griff didn't try hard enough.
I was going to say, I think Faputa's gonna die.
Mhm.
I think
Definitely.
Waco is. Ooh, let's see. I think Waco is not going to die, but he's not going to come out of this Waco anymore. Like, something weird. The same way Prushka, didn't come out of it being
You mean
Prushka.
Wazukion, don't you?
Is that what I say? Yeah, Wazukian, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wazukian's not going to die, but he's not going to be Wazukian anymore by the end.
You're expecting some karmic justice here.
Yeah, well, like the same way that Prushka didn't survive, but is still a Prushka in the show.
I just want Faputa to rip him apart, like
Now,
piece by piece.
There you go. That's the thing to wait for.
well, I'm assuming that we're gonna get something that's gonna make us unhappy. So,
Mhm.
what's the unhappiest outcome? Prushka, not Prushka. I'm still hung up on Prushka. Favorite character. That Faputa dying is probably the unhappiest outcome. Or maybe Reg dying.
I was gonna say I'd be more unhappy if Reg died,
Well, yeah. What if
but
Reg
I don't know
dies?
if he can die.
Well, what if
Oh,
Reg?
there we go. There it is. Reg dies. Faputa does the tears that bring the Pokemon back
No,
and dies in
no.
order to bring Reg
I'm
back.
saying Reg dies and Faputa replaces him on the team.
Oh my gosh, that would be absolutely insane if so. But then we'd have double fluffies. That'd be really good.
Oh, how horrible!
Yeah.
The merchandising department would surely
You
be
get
up in
2
arms.
heads to pat.
I don't have to pick between big and fluffy and thin and fluffy.
I can have both. I can pet both of them.
Oh, it's
Pets
perfect.
for years.
The cuddle party begins. Alright. So I think with all of our speculation out of the way, we're going to get started. But before we do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. Top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out below over on the Patreon. Just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Do it for Griffin's lungs. Golly, a double feature.
Great, now I have the Rocky Horror Picture Show theme song in my head.
Oh, she's
yeah,
got
the
Super
spooky
Saiyan hair now.
organs.
Her yell sounded natural. His sounded just weird.
Well, Jeremy was just like fat old guy, so yeah, no, his scream is weird. I also did forget she just had straight control of him.
Oh look, it's the burning sun in sword form.
She's so fluffy.
Also, they have an exoskeleton, apparently.
The forbidden cat.
I guess given that it has multiple legs, the fact that it's like an insect makes sense. Oh, there we go. Alright, well that's hype for the fight.
I mean, it's certainly a thing.
She's about to execute Order 66.
Well, I mean, she already killed most of the children.
There are more.
Well, technically not, because they've been down here hundreds of years. They're the anime vampire rule.
Oh yeah, that is also a thing to think of. When I'm like abstracting or summarizing like what they are, it's like, alright, so it's a group of people who eat the flesh of others and have survived hundreds of years. Like, yeah, no, that's like a vampire or something, right? It's like, and then we just have Ma. It's like, it's the little pink buddy. That's what we got.
I mean, I don't know what they eat anymore. I've never seen them eat the flesh of others.
That's actually a really good question. I don't think we ever got around to that.
I mean, it could be that the city just sustains them.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, I have one more thing I want to happen this episode. I want Nanachi to go punch something.
Oh, that'll be glorious right there.
She's got new armor. I want her to do something with it.
Nanachi does the Kamehameha.
If only I knew what that meant.
It's just the title, it's gold.
Look at that fluffy little monster.
Found the shiny.
Oh, she woke it up? I just always assumed it was wandering around on its own.
Defense mode.
君の姿は他の干渉機から伝わっている。我もまた干渉機、君が破壊した
So feral.
それ
The
と同
sage.
じだが、我はすでに破壊され行動できない。これ以上の破壊は控えてもらえると。君は言葉を
Just like, I've had a hard day. Can you just lay off a little?
この行動を匂いをつけるのか
Even he choked up.
どうした休むのかなぜここで
I love her big stupid
適
eyes.
温なのかあの者たちの匂いがしなかったからか睡眠をとるのか
His first observation was,
君の縄張りという
you can't talk, huh? And then keeps talking at her.
見て
He clearly
I
is
mean-
like the kind of person who has to think out loud, you know?
君の姿
I'm fully aware my cat won't respond to me, but I still talk to him.
何者なのかを
Doing the repairs.
とても嬉しい君が探してくれた素材を我に合うよう削り出しているとこ
Stupid
ろ
show. They're retroactively trying to make us sad because he's dead now.
君ほど
I was already sad.
宣言するからだ知識の
Well, just like, why are you showing this? We've
記録の一切
shown him
ない
dying over the course of
君は
5 minutes
何者
already.
なのだ
Well, I mean, I think we're just going over Fukuda backstory here before she died.
そうだな。新しく知ったこの価値探しの遊びは楽しい。集めるのお前も出来上がっていくしな。C が集まると食う。他にもあると言ったな。もっと教えろ母の言葉を。
C は最初の価値だ欲の始まりやささやかな願いも意味する食う価値の重なり欲の先
Laser
積み重な
alphabet.
る願いを意味する
Also, this would be very confusing to a mathematician
願いの行
that thought you were
列
just trying to
価値の
express
結晶
numbers.
純粋さを意味する名途方もない価値願いの解放清濁や混沌も意味する吐くこれが最も高い価値だ願いの権限魂の形を意味する
Your expression of language is very much like Hangman, if you think about it.
かけがえのない
This is very much very important lore here.
君にも呼び名があるはずなのだ
Doesn't mean every expressive figure looks like a person.
母はすでに言葉を失ってた。奴らのつけた長旗として知りたくもない。
ならばマプタ
なんだと？
君のような恐るべきものは他にない新しい名前がいるファウは尊い娘アプタは不滅のもの永遠を表す果てぬ姫君ファプタだ
アプタは気に入っ
我は干渉。
いや、お前はガブールンだ。母の言葉で女王の守護者だったな。
そうだが、
不満か？
She's so cute. She's
Have a
a little
reservation.
bug.
より脆い守護者など成り立つのか。
お前はすでに守っている。さあ、次の価値を探して。
Oh, they just really are cute. I just love how, like, expressive this completely featureless robot is, too. Like, in just their actions and words. It's so great. Defeated.
レグ、なぜファプタを呼ばんすす？お前、本当にレグなのか？これが人の子。レグのハクソス。
I think it hits a little differently.
母と同じものを
That she's not like
感じす
some super stealthy person,
何か違う。
but was literally talking at them while they slept.
They're just
They're all
heavy
just heavy
sleepers, no
sleepers.
wonder.
この果ての子はなんと香ばしそうず。そのために
They're not she too precious for Papuda.
パプタというものがいながらこっち
So sad. Reg's not gonna have a waifu anymore.
こっちは C なのでは？パプタだっけ？ケツを香ばしそうず。石のもの、その姿では
Oh,
声を
right.
届けられま
So
す。
she drew the thing about greatest value on top of Rico's
お前
picture?
には自らを解き放つ
Ah,
使命がある。
yeah.
人には人の、
On
石に
Reg.
は石の。
And then gave Nanachi like a 1 out of 10.
Didn't even mark Rico, actually.
腕は確かだ。
気に入らすすが、やむを得まい。優しい石のものはしゃぶれずにいる。頼んだぞ。
賜った12の言葉を交わす前に戻る。
それにレグも母を見れば思い出すはず。
なんだその毛髪は。
レグ以外の2人は脆いソス。イフケブロの毛に混ぜて獣よけするソス。なんソス？
なぜレグたちと直接話さない？君が案内すればその工作も必要ないのでは？
So, what started all the mystery and conflict? Well, you see, Papuda was just too shy.
そんなんでやっていけるのか心配だ。
I love them.
I know, it really is just adorable.
He's just
And
a
now he's
single
dead.
dad trying his best.
And now back to the present where everything sucks.
I was
Oh,
hearing
just-
circus music in my head for a second. Trapeze artist up there.
起きたか。
Whew.
ここは
ここはマジカジャの上っさね。遅れてもじゃり
ありがとう。
And
I got
yeah,
out the bus for him.
yeah, another bodysuit.
レグも置いてきちゃった。
There's that fluffy Cyclops again.
Yeah, that one's girlfriend.
Volko's
I need
girlfriend.
girlfriend Cyclops to survive, honestly.
ごめんよ。ほんと面目ね。私こそ危ないことさせて。ファプタを止めることが
Wow, it's been 2 hours already?
不甲斐ない。
そう気に病むことねんじゃ
I
ね。
guess the fighting is going on a little bit.
わちらだって子供3人にどうかされたなんて思っちゃいねえさ。イルブルの成り立ちを知っちまった。ファプタの声も聞いちまった。遠い昔に一人の女の子が悪夢に落ちてよ。その末の娘が長い夢から覚まそうとしてたんだ。いよいよ来ただけさ。
カジャ、いつかこんな日が来る思ってた。 ミスケソもガウメも言ってた。
酒入った時なんか連中割とマジに語るさな。
Ma, you're too
Ma
adorable
down
for this
there.
rules.
を目指したのにさ、てめえらは延々と何してんのかねって。まあ詳しくはお前さんたちをそそのかした張本人に聞いてみんだな。
Time to find Wazuki and what he's up to. Oh, dead on the
Just
ground.
that.
Okay.
Oh, Voiko's gone.
ああ、みんな揃ったんだね。よかったよかった。このままで失礼するよ。いや、参ったね。もう空っぽでさ。麦ちゃん、そそのかしたなんてひどいじゃない。これはみんながみんな。
Oh, he's just so casual. I love it.
積み重ねで起きたことさ。なあ。
そうなのだが、なんとも無性に腹立たしい。
リコ、聞いておきたいことがあるんだ。ここに来れてよかったかい？
めちゃくちゃ来てよかった。私、奈落の底を目指したりせずに地上でずっと暮らしてたらきっと思いもしなかった。呪いの満ちた絶海にこんな場所があるってこと、こんな素敵な人たちがいるってこと。だからここに来れて本当によかった。ねえワズキャンさん、あの羅針盤ちょっと前まで私が持ってたの。
マジで？それは驚きだね。
落っことしちゃったけど、でも次拾った人もきっと冒険に出て来てよかったってなって。
Drops on layer 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
いいね、とても。
ワズキャン、まあおめえ何する気だった？
Yeah, just ask him.
Come on, give us the
の
plot.
意思をもらったんだね。いい匂いに磨きがかかってる。我々はね、人以上のものになりたかったのさ。この大穴をうがつには人を超えなければならない。それは奈落の住人として慣れ果てること、祝福され力を得ること、呪いに打ち勝つ体を持つこと、そのいずれでもない。
いずれでもないのか。
積み重ねだけだ。それらの積み重ねだけが人を人以上たらしめる。途方もない年月を奈落と寄り添い培ったしたたかさが、果てを目指す好奇心と純粋さが、導かれた申し子が混ざり。
Sorry, having Bone Druid in a picture while also saying purity.
その末端にいるのが君たちであり、
Yeah, it's purity of
そ
purpose.
して道を決めようとしているファプタだ。だから僕がしたいことは今や一つ。君らにこう言うだけさ。どうかあの子を頼むよ。
今さら言われるまでもない。
望郷を旅の先に持つ奈落の子供たち。叶わない夢より恐ろしいものが黄金の先で待つ。せめて夢を叶えて絶望しておくれ。
Realize your dreams and despair.
言う通りになんかならないよ。
いいね。
Sorry, that was actually an unfinished sentence. He meant, that's great that you think that. I am the prophet after all.
Wazukian escaping all punishment and dying as casually as he lived. My gosh.
この声、ファプタだ。
Yeah, I'm a little sad that Faputa didn't get to beat the hell out of him.
マジカジャさん？
ミンゴーン。
But I can't imagine Wazukian going out any other way than just casually accepting his fate and going, ah, no, I guess that's just how it
悪
goes.
いな。わちらは行かなきゃなんね。
行っても大丈夫なの？
お姫様がよ、初めて呼んだんだ。わちらを滅ぼすとまで言った声で、今はただ純粋に呼んでんだ。言ってやんなきゃ悔いが残る。それにわちらも大穴に挑んだアホなんだ。どう終わるかはてめえで選ぶさ。そんでおめえらはどうすん？
現場は崩れかけで猛獣だらけ。力場が入り込んでたら進めなくなるかもしんねえ。行こうだよな。もはやどこにいたって危ねえ。心してかかろうぜ。
すまないな、宿の主人。
So wait, was the gold the journey we made?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
So it's the One Piece gold then.
何を言っているのかわからないが、可愛いな。
みんな会社に乗ってく
Greg just being the audience for a second.
ボスと一緒にいたはずのブエコンがいないって。
そういえば入れ違いになったか。
追いかけよう。足遅いから。
Your girlfriend's MIA, Cyclops.
ほれ、リコ。
何これ。
わちと間近じゃからだよ。揺れるとこで見るとようで。
これお母さんの封書の一部。あの人が売ってた。
ガウメにお姫様の一部渡したら喜んで取引してくれたんさ。ありがと
う、ムーギーさん。マジカジャさん。
コンボス。
ハーリー、これ
Look at that little smile.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Remember, these people are going to die.
I know, but they're adorable.
That's why the tragedy's gonna be even worse.
The village of marketable plushies.
私を選んでくれてありがとう。何一つ全部忘れない。みんな行こう。
That almost felt like a commercial break moment.
I very much think it was.
どうして向かっているのだ。こんなものを持って行って今さら何ができるというのだ。あの子たちは無事なのだろうか。
Also,
Grandma wants to make sure her baby's okay.
she's not one that'll die from the outside coming in, so
自分の何だというのだ。
she either survives this episode or she doesn't.
Oh, if she keeps going up too high, she might hit curse. That's also a thing.
Not at the moment.
I'll be
because
surprised if
she's inside,
she doesn't die.
She's inside the city at the moment, so no curse.
Yeah, just a rapidly changing situation.
Ah, don't hit me with that. Or that one. I mean, she tried to kill herself before, though, so...
That's what I'm saying. I'd be surprised if she lived.
Gotta feed the cute animals.
Yeah, Waco's going down.
It's been an adventure, huh?
So Fupuda is 1, the immortal, 2, Waco's definitely gonna die, and 3, no, Fupuda's definitely gonna
Oh
join
god,
the crew.
with the flashback of Prushka?
Yeah!
Prushka, no, remember Prushka is I want to go on an adventure, and that's horribleness happened to her. And now we're getting flashback of adventure, and there we go. Curse is flooding in.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
Oh. Alright, not exactly where or when I thought it would happen.
Damn.
held on to it for hundreds of years. And lost it in 5 seconds of just sheer completely forgetting. There she is.
Damn, because the curse coming in means she's also dissolving.
Just let her die, dude.
And she
gonna be
sacrifices
honest.
herself. Oh no.
It was a mercy before she started turning hollow.
Well, I don't think she was changing anymore when she stopped moving.
ブエロエルコ畜生6層の呪い人間性の喪失これじゃもうナナチどうしたレグいやお前はファプタンとこに急げ了解したブエロエルコわずかに意識
Yeah, make the Nachi make the hard choice.
パッコや無駄にしねえぞ
He's got all the memories too, so
ナナチそれって急ぐぞ道はオイラが教えるもう人事じゃねえんだ必ず連れてってやる
Oh, damn. Faputa is not styling hard enough.
still going at it. At least one of them.
The Juragons are really cool.
命に近いとこ咲いたはずそれで
Yeah,
も
no,
向
she
かって
did
くる
to
ソスか
it what she was doing to Reg last
秘密でも
episode.
ないの生まれながらのサガかわかるぞ
Activated.
Oh, that's right, that was the symbol on Reg's helmet. It's been
It was.
rattling out of my head this whole time.
何しに来たソス
Suddenly remembers the fight they had. Love the expression.
覚悟を思い知った半端に挑んですまなかった
それで何しに来たソス
あっちだ君が呼んだ者たちが待っているここは僕が引き受ける
言いたいことはあるソスが
すまない急いでくれくそ不甲斐なくて腹が立つ言ってみたもののあのでかいのが2匹かどしがたいなんとかファプタから引き離さねば
He never passed out, right?
リコ負担をかけ
He
He
did for a
did.
while and just came back.
Because of the whistle.
よし見てなさい私たちだって
I do
や
love
るのよ
First, she's coming back as like a symbol of power now.
She's the key that makes Red go Super Saiyan.
And probably killing Rikugo.
Oh man, it's such a convenient excuse to have Rico just not ever be conscious for the whole show. She really didn't do anything this season for the most part. Last season, she spent a lot of time unconscious too.
Well, I mean, she's the one with the most to lose, as the only full human.
She's the heart of the show,
どう
so
したファプタ後にするソス分かってるよく集まった愚か者どもファプタは母を蝕んできたお前たちを許さぬだが役目を与えるソスファプタは母の体に残された価値を使う術を知ったソスだがまだ足りぬ知るための価値はお前たちに眠るお前たちを食い ファプタは今の母を知る。母に残された価値の全てをファプタは奪う。母の体は滅ぶ。あの侵入者どもも落ちて潰れそす。
世話かけちまうな。そのつもりで来たんさ。お姫様、わちらの代わりに頼むぜ。
ファン解放の時そす。
Giraffe dragon sounds like a horse.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I mean, what is a horse? A giraffe, but a really just big horse.
Never thought about it before.
You see?
That's what I said, made in a mist. Really makes you think.
この状況で10分後に混沌。ダメだ。ならば。
When does he get an arm back?
He still has one arm. He doesn't have the other one.
Well, he doesn't have his
I know,
other
I'm
hand.
saying, when does he get it back?
Probably when they
When
get
do they give him
down.
another arm?
Right when they get down to the level of the people that made him.
Fair.
He becomes the tree. Wait, are there cannons on the side? Hold up.
自分が許せなかった。あなたの子供を食べて生き続けたことが、あなたと一緒に死ねなかったことが、自分を許さないことであなたとの関わりをつなぎ止めようとしていた。あなたの中で最初に聞いた声にならない声、私は誰にも言えなかった。あなたが本当に欲しかったのは子供だけじゃなかったこと。全てが忘却に消えた。もはやできることはあなたを忘れまいとすることだけ。私を許せなかった。
That is some torment.
Oh, absolutely.
あなたの中に残ったものが今なくなろうとしている。ヒロミユイ、私を
I mean, Kaja doesn't have very long either.
ありがとう。
Nope.
あなたを先に見とるという最も重い罰を受けることができた。ありがとう。大好きだよ。私だけの温かい闇。
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like the episode was just gonna end there, and I was like, gonna be so angry for a second.
Yeah. It's it's the conclusion of all the emotional buildup right there.
The goo creature
But
came
it's-
back again for only half a second.
Goo creature can't handle Fapuda at her best.
力が伝祖さ。はあ、 果ての子ナナチと言ったそすな。まあそいつとは役目が終わった後だ。それまで滅びていなければ役目を手伝いに来た外の者にファプタは敬意を払うそす。間近じゃ。名もない果ての者、お前たちに役目を与える。そいつらを母の外へ逃がせ。いいか、まあという名があったのか。頼んだそす。あの時
In the middle of it, Fuputa just like, wait a second, no, that is just your name? Huh.
力を残せたそすか。いや、もうよい。もう終わったそす。
Reg, go grab your waifu. Yeah, yeah.
There it is.
Well timed.
Oh,
What
there
can
we
I
go. We
say? I'm
brought
an
all the
oracle.
characters together. We've done it.
Right, but you know, Kaja and Ma still have to die because the curse said.
Yup.
マーさんに
No.
ごめんね。作りかけ。
Oh gosh, it just gets worse.
代わりになんかならないけど。
Yeah, because I mean, it's the one I was whinging about before. Because Ma had to see their prized possession destroyed in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
全部の足壊れた。動けない。ハリー、到底許されないけど、役目のためだから。
間近じゃ。
Slurp.
これきちんと通してないからカジャ死ぬ。最後だけ。カジャ最後だけだから。
Wait, Kaja's actually taking control.
間近じゃなのか。
What a Chad.
カジャパミ嬉しい。
We don't know who Kaja was before, do we?
I don't think we have like
I don't
another
know.
character to associate them with. No, not like a preform. Unlike Cyclops Girl.
I feel like that scene would have really confused me if we didn't have that one viewer comment explaining their relationship.
Mhm.
マーさんありがとう。
Oh man.
マーさん、マーさん。
Ma-san was never real.
They are all gone.
I mean, we all know they turn into, they evaporate. So
There's a bit of Ma over there, and over there.
sometimes I hate you, Griff.
I'm sorry. I'm turning my trauma into humor again. Because
Those things
that
are so
actually
cool.
caught me a little bit.
Because the Ma was the most childlike of all, so having
The
Ma
absolute
evaporate holding a
innocence.
little doll.
I
It was
know
very
it
much
is
the most midi death of them all.
also
Yeah.
one of them just murking the other one here. It is like absolutely brutal. Compare and contrast our main heroes torn up about everything.
That thing just executes the weak.
But it was to feed all the other monsters too.
嬉しい。妙な夢を見たそす。
Alright, so Kaja's now gone too.
Yep, we're down to just Waco now.
お前か。互いに生きていたとは。
What
リコ、大丈夫か？
Rico is not
みん
okay.
な消えちまったけどよ。永遠のゆりかごからアビスへ帰っていったんだ。
Little baby
同
Mitty.
じ道に帰ってきたんだ。だからよ、ナナチ、大丈夫。
Yeah, because everyone's soul returned to the bottom of the abyss.
Yup. Everybody goes towards death eventually.
Well, that's what she said. They're on the same path that we're on. We're all heading down.
声を出さずともよい。ファプタには聞こえるソス。あの長いやつの匂いで知るまで、お前のことを知らんかったソス。教えてほしいソス。ファプタの知らぬ母のことは。
No.
ミュイ。
ファプタはそんなに母に似てるソスか？
似てないかも。イルはすごく甘えん坊で、すごく人見知りで、それでスベスベで、スベスベ似てる。とても温かくて、そして何をしても二度と帰ってこないの。
そうか、そうか。
The one person Faputa has the absolute most connection to.
最後の最後まで。
Dying the moment she meets her.
よかった。ファプタは母のすべてを継いだと思っていた。だが、ブエロエルコ、お前がいたという記憶だけはファプタのどこにもなかった。ブエコ、母はたとえファプタであってもお前だけは渡したくなかったのだ。
黄金鏡はよ、クズでも黄金に変えてくれるんだってよ。
あの声が届かない。遠く遠くまで来たのに、今さら思い出すなんて。イルミュイ。
なんそす。
私ね、暗い目をしてるって言われて嬉しかったの。
そうか。
だからあなたが見えた。だからあなたが見つけてくれたの。
そうそう。
イル、あなたが変えてくれた。
こいつは母のもの、ファプタのものではないソス。なのに、どうしてこんな気分になれソスだ。
Reg, hug your girl.
Everyone breaking up except Nanashi, who's just like, nah, I've done this before.
Twice, as a matter of fact.
獣たちの姿がないの。
まあ、奴ら傷ついた村の匂いに引きつけられてたんだろうな。みんな帰っていっちまった。
墓を作ってやっているのか。
ガブールンが奴らは死んだらこうする言ってたそうさ。にまそうそうそうそう。なそうそうそうそう。これで寂しくないソス。再び魂が巡るまで。ガブが言ってたソス。ガブ
ファプタ、僕たち ちと僕たちと一緒に来てくれないだろうか。
What is this music? Sorry, I was off guard.
あのことまるっきり忘れてた。レグとソスか。約
I've actually heard this track before.
レグとソス。
それはすまない。ここにいたって。
Rico, this is not your battle. Just stay quiet.
不甲斐ない。
なんソスか。じゃあファプタは関係ないじゃないソスか。
違う。かつての僕は君のそんな姿を見ているのか。僕は見た。君の恐ろしさも悲しさも美しさも僕は見た。僕は君と出会ってしまったんだ。行こう。僕は君と一緒に冒険に行きたい。
So is that the ship pairing then? Fabuda and Reg, and then Rico and Nanachi?
It's
I don't
not
know
a ship
about
if it's
Rico and
canon.
Nanachi, but
Did you not
Fabuda
catch
and
those
Reg,
vibes?
absolutely. No.
No, Nanachi is all up on Reg. Not Reg, Rico. Reg's obsessed with Nanachi's scent.
It suddenly adds contextualization to that a bit.
それがお前の役目なのだと石の者が言っている。バルシカの声聞こえるの？喧嘩はダメだよ。ソスコ。
That's what she said.
Now we can talk to Prushka again.
レグがこんなすべ
Has
て
always been able to do
優
that.
しいままなのはお前たちゆえなのだろう。ファプタはもう行くソス。見て、触れて、集めるソス。
来てくれないのか。
No, the author would hate drawing me all the time.
考えておくソス。
I've got a movie, some OVAs, and possibly a season to decide.
あいつふわふわだと見境ねえのかな。私もそうは思っています。
二度とは戻らない望郷の彼方。真の闇の中に誰にも見つけら
How
れない。
anyone can see this and still think that Reg and Rico should be together, I don't know.
でもそれを手にするのは誰でも。
Remind me, Nanachi can go up, right?
I want to say yes because she's already hollow.
Well, there was also the discussion before that Nanachi can see the layers, so she can also
Yeah.
avoid it. So it means, as they journey further down, the only one of them that's never coming back is Rico.
It's alright, they can tell her story.
It's so clearly the point of this whole fucking thing, is that you're not forgotten so long as somebody can tell your story.
ファッツィ、
hmm
サンブレムソス。
And plus, like, Rico's made her peace with the fact that she's not coming back. Like, I think that's okay to have her die in that instance.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was saying.
I'm not saying it as
a
a counter or anything to you. I'm just thinking.
It just
considering
occurred to
my
me
thoughts.
as a projection of how things would end, is that no matter what, Rico's not coming back. Well, you know, unless something turns her into something or whatever.
Right.
Oh god, that was so hard to go through.
Oh gosh, no, like that was stabbing at my heart the whole time. We had like how many different deaths we had to go through here? Like 4 or 5?
Well, it's the moment Ma
Back to
disappeared
back.
and set me off. I think I was done for a good 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And then y'all stopped talking about stuff, and it was like, I can't talk anymore. Please let them talk about stuff.
This was 48 minutes, but it was still very dense. I had to pay attention. I had to make sure I got every bit of it here. They also dumped more lore, so that's also something to go back on. Wazukian and his terrible, horrible plan.
Waiting for any chance of an after credits thing.
I'm hoping.
It's got the time for it. Let's see.
Nope.
No, just more credits.
High
Okay,
dive.
we're done.
Thanks,
We're
High
done.
Dive, for your musicless text scroll that you always do. So yeah, okay. During the interviews during the movie, it was brought up that the author said how it would all end, and you didn't want to hear it before until we were done this. And he said the name of an anime that it would end like. You want to make a guess?
What did this end like? I'm not sure anything comes immediately to mind, if so, if there's anything. Go ahead and do us the reveal. What have we got, Theta? Uh, uh,
He wanted us to guess while he found the source.
No, this wasn't it. When since I have it playing on VLC, when VLC hits the end of the video, it minimizes down.
Over again.
No, it minimizes down. And I wanted to at least have something in the middle, so I had to get back to a big old empty screen. No, the anime he said this would all end like was Hunter x Hunter.
So it doesn't end at all, and we'll see you in 20 years.
I have no idea. I've never seen Hunter x Hunter.
You should. I have a feeling you'll appreciate it.
I think I may have started to see the beginning of the first episode, and it never again. It was like it was done.
Honestly, once they introduce the power system, it gets good, but you have to sit through a couple arcs for that.
Well, anyway, that's what the author said during the screening of the movie. How Made in Abyss would end. So if that had no great meaning at all, glad we sat through 12 episodes.
I mean, I guess I kind of see it.
Well, what does it
I
mean
kind of
to you?
hope not. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to remember exactly the details on it. I just know that main character Gon ends up basically unconscious in the hospital, like because he had to do something to end a fight. And his dad, who he's been searching for this whole time, is around, and he's not even going to see his son. And then his friend ends up punching him in the face.
I guess it's worth noting that this is just the end of the season, and not the end of Made in Abyss content. So
right. There's still more to go, but like the end of Hunter x Hunter, there just sounds like it ends with the entire group falling apart in a fight.
Well, I guess it does have the parallels as you're describing of a boy searching for his father, and this is a girl searching for her mother.
So I guess the answer is no, they won't find Liza.
Or that they'll get to where Liza is, and then Liza will refuse to see her.
And they'll immediately die upon reaching their goal.
Okay,
just over. Yeah, that's as depressing as it can get. Okay.
I guess the other thing I've been holding on to was the spoiler that never came. On the first layer, about 30 meters down, there's a temple, right?
Yeah.
And you say, yeah, it doesn't appear in the anime. So, 30 meters down, there's a temple, and it's full of dead bodies, skeletons, in like praying positions. And underneath the temple is an older temple with 2,000-year-old. Sorry, the ones on top are like 2,000 years old. The ones beneath it holds an older temple with 4,000-year-old bodies praying. And they find beneath that is an even older temple with 6,000-year-old bodies praying. And the thought is that something keeps happening in 2,000-year intervals. And we are basically at the next 2,000 years. And what they think is it's the happy birthday disease. You remember what that is?
Yeah. They showed that off like very briefly in an episode.
Yeah, where that one kid on the surface is sick and dying, and they think he has the happy birthday disease. And what they think happens is that every 2,000 years, this happy birthday disease, it's what they're calling it now, basically it just starts killing everybody who's not immune to it. And that's what they think all these people in the temple's praying are about. And Ozen supposedly talks about it at some point. She might have talked about it in the anime, not sure. She talks about it more in the manga, apparently. And again, I'm saying this because it happened.
Because this is additional information.
No,
Keep
I'm
going.
saying it because it happened during parts of the where the anime didn't. They just didn't do it in the anime, but they did it during parts where it should have happened. And specifically, I was bringing it back to the comment where they said Bondrewd as enemy and everything, and that Bondrewd specifically brings up. I can't remember his exact line, but Bondrewd brings it up, the 2,000-year curse thing, and that he's trying to find a way to stop it, sort of thing.
Right.
So the whole Bondrewd as enemy thing is what I keep laughing about, because he seems to be the only one that we're presented by in the anime that both knows about it and is trying to stop it.
So let's go ahead and take a moment and compare and contrast Bondrewd and Wazukian. Wazukian isn't like the super direct antagonist comparison parallel here, but they're on the same track, and I think it's worth comparing these two, what they're doing, and how they're going about it.
Wazukian is lawful evil, and Bondrewd is chaotic good.
I think it's worth saying that
would not
for
agree.
as polite and nice as Bondrewd is at times, no amount of politeness kind of goes over and removes the sheer amount of evil he is, right?
I would say I would go more centralist to what Shai just said. I would say Wazukian is chaotic neutral, and that Bondrewd would be lawful neutral.
But Bondrewd like has this representation of being like scientific progress. Like,
sorry, actually, I think I have to put them as both chaotic neutral. Bondrewd is not following the law. That's why his bounty hunters after him. So clearly not lawful neutral.
But yeah, so my thoughts. So Wazukian and Bondrewd are kind of after the exact same thing, but they have like slightly different means for it.
No.
Bondrewd is the metaphor for scientific progress without any humanity whatsoever, where basically every single thing is just a resource to pump into the machinery and get out the results you want. He doesn't care at all about the cost. Wazukian is more sociable and personable than that. They have the same kind of deal, right? Where they're both really nice, kind of casual, but also doing horrible things to everybody. And Wazukian did do horrible things to everyone. But his goal was also to, as he said, to turn people into things that are more than human so that they can survive the pit here. Right?
Yeah, I apologize. I interjected a no in there too quickly.
I know.
Wazukian did say the goal was to become greater than human. And Bondrewd has obviously become greater than human. God, what was your last point there again?
Both of their goals are kind of to overcome the curse by different means, where Bondrewd is apparently seeing the curse as this 2,000-year cycle where this disease pops up and kills everyone and starts it all over again. And Wazukian sees it as a forward enlightenment, which he sees in the main protagonists, who are going to become more than human through their adventure.
I think my only dispute was the previous statement. You said Wazukian didn't do anything wrong. Sorry.
Okay.
To our
right.
commenter. No, to our commenter at the start of the episode, who said Wazukian only suggested things and asked questions, and never told anyone to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That was why I'm saying Wazukian didn't do anything evil. Well, killing babies and eating them, probably evil. Wazukian
I would say the
didn't
things that happen are the results of his decisions, whether or not he forced anyone to do anything, or specifically stabbed people with knives or experimented on kids.
I think it goes against the concept of anybody having free will to suggest that Wazukian made anybody do anything by asking questions.
Yeah, everyone had agency in it, but Wazukian is a manipulator, is what it is, of course.
Well, I mean,
He specifically manipulated everyone to the ends that he wanted, regardless of what would kind of happen. Like the comment was saying, or maybe like you were saying, Wazuki is just like, I guess some people died. No time to mourn. We're just moving on.
right.
So he and Bone Druid have these same vibes, are doing these same things, but yet Wazuki sort of comes out the better of the two. What are your thoughts on it? Well,
Bondrew's people who willingly come to him survive for the most part. I don't know. God, it's hard.
right.
He's got the
I
goblins.
think it would be best to not frame it as their charitability versus the amount of evil that they
He's
cause.
got the goblins living downstairs. Remember the ones Prushka made the whistles for?
Mhm.
Who are like no longer people anymore?
Yeah.
But then he has all the other guys that are like doing science experiments for him. Versus what Wazukian's group became. It's very hard to tell. I guess on the face of it, they do look like reflections in a mirror. But I think it's obvious to tell that Bondrew's group is still alive, and Wazukian's is all dead. So...
Bondrew's group, I feel, is definitely more of like a utility than anything. It's hard to say if Bondrew actually cares about anyone around him. Whereas, at the very least, Wazukian had here for a couple hundred years, or however long they were down there, what seems to be honestly a bunch of people who were very happy to live together in a village.
Well, you
Look, I
remember...
don't
No
know if
one
I have
there
a lot of
was
input on this, but
struggling with like existential
Wait.
crisis.
Let's try to talk. Let's try to talk.
I'm gonna have to actually hard disagree with you. We have a lot of evidence that Bondrewd cared about the people around him. That's like the one thing that he was pretty like blatant about. He's just got a creepy way of showing it.
Plus, people continuously came to Bondrewd to join.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't want to be like, well, actually at you, but like, well, actually.
Right. Like I said, I don't think it would be good to frame it as like their charitability versus their evil, because at that point we were trying to like make that utilitarian. It's like, well, did they do more or less of one or the other? I think would be better to look at the cities around them. Bone Druid also has a city, one in which he very regularly goes out of his way to torture various young children around him. And Wazukian has a city where people kind of get brutally punished, but if they're not like upsetting other people and what they care about, they're kind of living very happily.
Wazukian is a city where the value of children is so much that you trade body parts of theirs.
As if it doesn't value themselves, then they don't get protected. It's weird and fucked up, but there is some degree of people living happily together and not being directly and intentionally tortured by the creator of their city.
I would say look towards the end results, right? Bondrewd City still exists.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, Bondrewd also...
A win by default is a win.
I mean, Bondrewd also wasn't hiding away a sequestered human child, tortured by their own thoughts for hundreds of years.
I could say the true result of Wazukian's experiments or manipulations is Fapuda. Fapuda, who has absorbed literally everything that the city was.
Don't play this game, Griff. Don't play this game, because the end result of Bondrewd is Nanachi, so this is not a game you want to go down.
So we're right back at Fapuda versus Nachi, and we're gonna go down to who's the fluffiest real quick. All right.
Well, Nanachi is.
The big poofball.
And
yeah.
Nanachi smells better. In this very episode, we already had the comparison of Nanachi versus Fapuda's butthole, which was a comparison made this episode.
I feel like I just got sucker punched with like a completely different conversation.
You did.
Like I was like trying to like map it in my head. Like, how did we? Wait, what? Nanachi? What?
No, we just derailed into another Ohio town. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's very much literally you're boiling up both of their accomplishments down to what they created, and you're saying Wazukian created Fapuda and Bondrewd created Nanachi. So,
well, I mean, like your argument was like, oh, none of it matters because the city got destroyed, but that's That's definitely not how we felt during the season. We spent the entire season with the entire village, learning of its setting, getting to see all these characters, and we loved that, right?
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying look at the end result. We got through Bondrud's thing, and Bondrud came out the other side alive, and a bunch of the stuff is still there, and then Bondrud came down to Wazukian's place and dealt with Wazukian's people, and then moved on. Wazukian did not come out of this A, alive, B, his city existing, or C, any of the people he came with surviving.
Again, like, my argument isn't one of results, it's one of means. And the means that Wazukian had, initially absolutely terrible, and then resolved to means of, and then everyone vibes for several hundred years and is happy.
It's definitely an emotional beat of, hey, we went on an adventure, and everybody lives in my heart now. But it's still very much a note of, hey, Bondrew's people don't have to live in our heart because they still exist.
Right. I think I would go ahead and like to give you one more comparison to make, and I'd like you to remember the scene where Prushka is being cut up and put into a box, and then compare that to the scene of the villagers agreeing to be eaten by Faputa.
I would compare Prushka being cut up and put into a box with Ma having to level the scales with a thing of infinite value and being torn apart in front of everybody. Because those are basically similar scenes in my eyes.
So let's see. So that kind of encompasses at least like the first half of what I was thinking right there. The second half is the lore part, which I was mentioning before. Sawazukian has mentioned wanting to become more than human, and of course that the characters are becoming that, and they're doing so not as like specific individuals, but like as a group who's acquired everything that they are on the way. Rico now has like whistle powers, can read souls and like communicate with people. Faputa's basically immortal. Reg has a huge laser beam, is unaffected by the curse, and Nanachi is Nanachi, so you know the fluffiest. You know you got that power there.
I don't know if Faputa is actually currently immortal.
Oh, and Nanachi is even like merged with the memories of another person who has lived for hundreds of years.
Because it seems like Faputa used all that immortality power to kill her mother.
Yeah, it's not clear whether or not she'll have that going forward. My guess would probably be not, but it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it seemed to me that she was gaining like regeneration and such from absorbing her shadow sisters and brothers and sisters, whatever you want to call them. And then at the very end, she used all of that to destroy the city. So I don't know that she has any of that left to regenerate with.
Yeah, no, that's like a very fair observation, and we just like have to wait for them to like say it later. But it's interesting to me because throughout season 1 we had like the whole thing with and the movie with souls, what they're about, that they exist and are real, and that the abyss like is literally just like dragging souls down to it. But also here we had in this episode with our language lesson today, Haku Wishes in the Soul, where our robot was going over that, Gabaru. And basically indicated that the soul and the desires that you want are essentially the same thing here. And the context of our show has been the nature of desire, following it down, and having that as your purpose. So all of this is kind of like coming together in a very interesting way for me. Where I suppose on Wazukian's perspective, his argument would be the trials that we're going down through here, their accumulation is literally the modification of your souls, and that is what it would mean to him to be more than human, not like the gaining a laser beam power part. Which he says very explicitly. It's like, no, getting a laser beam is not what I mean here.
I mean, arguably, he still gained a lot of powers. You don't be able to... Yeah. He basically became the poison ivy of the abyss.
You need to be able to survive the abyss is what he's looking at, I think.
Which he accomplished by living in a city he couldn't take a step out of.
I I think because
Chilling.
Wazukian does not care that it is him. He is so casual about his death. He's like, well, I have to die so that I can have the thing that I want come into existence. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
I think more confusingly that he had the revelation last episode that I'd like to keep on adventuring, going down, and that came to nothing because it couldn't.
I think his casual, very even tone definitely has like masked a lot of emotion he may be having. Because we had like his whole death scene where he's having this casual conversation with Rico, and his question was like, "Hey Rico, do you regret coming down here and like having fun in the village that I specifically caused and created?" It's like I feel that because of his delivery, you don't get that feeling of like he's happy to know that Rico had a good time. That what he wanted to create in Rico and her group had a good time, and we're happy.
Are you suggesting that the prophet who's getting visions of the future did all of this thousands of years ago in order for Rico in the future to be changed just a little bit in her adventure down into the abyss?
Yes.
That is
yes, that is
insanity.
exactly what I'm saying. The modifications that Rico goes through as a part of interacting with the village, going on this adventure, that's what he's talking about. That's what he cares about.
That these people's entire lives. This is God level meddling, by the way.
He has
That only
sacrificed
exists.
hundreds of people for
Only
did Rico
existed.
did you have a good time in town?
Yeah, all these people's lives, their suffering, their loves, their joys, their regrets and sorrows existed to change or mold the mind of one little girl in a week's time adventure. That's what I'm
the girl
saying.
and all of her
That
best
is
friends, but...
divine plan, God level planning and meddling.
And that's why he's a prophet.
So I'm not arguing that it's possible, or possibly the entire point of the season. I'm just
That's
saying.
a lot of effort for a little payoff.
Well, I mean, maybe he saw.
It's debatable.
Maybe he saw what becomes of it. The problem is that his prophetic powers are only seen in the what becomes of them, and the fact that he never suffers because of them. So
I guess the interesting thing to look here, like adjacent to this and like as an interesting thing is, how did our characters change this season? What did they develop? What did they do? How did they change a lot? We commented a little bit earlier that, well, Rico maybe hasn't done a lot this season, and last season she also spent a lot of time unconscious. I think that was the comment you were making, Shai, right?
Yeah.
But I think it would probably be worth saying that Rico did in fact go through some changes and like has come out different at least. She has the whistle power, which is also a change of Prushka. Her form is modified. People can hear her more clearly. She's still adventuring Theta. She's still there. She's still a very active character despite being a stone person.
We'd call her a very active character. She still shows up.
She's involved in the story and
she enables Rico to have a role in the story now.
And have brain aneurysms.
I think Rico...
Small price to pay for a Super Saiyan robot.
Yeah. I think Rico's big things were the language stuff, which was demonstrated early in the season, which is more of her just using her brain, being smart, and being a nice girl. And then, of course, the second part was helping the village out, literally kill a larger group, larger being, as a group, using both her knowledge and her ability to organize people, and I think she is, in fact, like, just demonstrating that she's a good, capable leader in this season for the short amount of time that we actually had her, like, doing things.
Yeah, no, she proves her worth. It's just that her beats are more on the emotional realization level, like, when you described before that, we've attained the fact that souls are real. And it's like, well, we wouldn't really know that for sure if it wasn't for Rico being passed out. Because if Rico hadn't been passed out, we wouldn't have seen Mitty through her eyes and the other side, or whatever we want to call that.
Right. The telepathic world, the mindscape here. That's what I'm gonna call her soul-to-soul communication. Just
Plus,
telepathy.
we have to keep her out of danger most times because
She's the most fragile character.
Yeah, because she's the one with the most risk. Because if she does jumping jacks, she could get Vacoed.
Waco forgot for 5 seconds and then died because of it.
I don't
so
think
yeah,
she
no,
forgot.
that's exactly what we could be looking at.
I think she forgot. She was going up a round staircase, and then just saw, oh crap, there's a giant hole in the wall. Shit.
Well, no, like that was like her internal monologue. It's like, oh, it's been thousands of years. I forgot that this could happen. Oh wait, shit. I guess I was human. Whoops.
Well, I read her monologue as, oh, I am human. Not a I forgot because of thousands of years. It's more of a confirmation. Oh, I have been human this whole time. Because remember when she killed herself, when she tried to kill herself, she thought herself less than human.
Ah, right. You know, maybe part of that could have been solved with the mirror at some point. But let's...
I think there's many layers of shit going on.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, Griff. Oh, Griff.
Yeah.
Stay golden.
So yeah, Reg has unlocked his Super Saiyan form. Prushka is now like a true whistle and like actually does things. Nanachi has gained more memories and a power suit, which I don't think it's done anything. She's just wearing new clothes, right?
It's not really a power suit. It's just new materials that are stronger because they made it out of stuff that they've collected all this time. And I guess technically Prushka is like Spidey sense. Because you remember Prushka suddenly shows up in like ghost form behind Rico. It's like, you need to blow the whistle now. So it's like she's sensing danger before it becomes apparent to the person holding her.
I have a terrible metaphor and I'm not going to say it. Continuing on. So let's see, and so that's everyone. And Fupuda's just there. She has her powers already. She's changed emotionally. That was her journey for this.
Well, she's accomplished her goal. She's got the memories of everybody. Well, she's got the memories of a lot of people. Clearly, the people that died before they got there, they're just lost to forever now.
Right. Her whole thing was finding something that she specifically values because she chooses it, which was also the thing that Waco was going through too. Realizing that, so, no, I did choose something I cared about. And that's why they had a fun relationship. Oh man, that was a good interaction. That was what I was hoping for. We got it, and I'm very happy with what we got right there. We were talking about that being the climax before.
I just picturing down the line where we get scenes of Waco was thinking to himself all the time, and now that she possibly has Waco's memories or things, or Waco is having meaningless conversations with people. Sorry, not Waco, other guy, Prophet's name. Hit me with it.
Wazukion.
That was Zukian was just having meaningless conversations with people that doesn't seem to apply to anything. And that Fupuda is going to join the party, and she's going to have flashbacks of Wazukian saying shit that meant nothing when he was saying it, and it's going to have everything to do with their future situations.
That is 4D, 5D chess right there. That would be Grand Chess Master. We're right back to where you were like a moment ago and saying those god tier planning.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a prophet. I'm going to plan for other people's memories to be absorbed of me saying stuff that'll make sense in context to the person who took those memories later on. Oh my.
Right, I've seen that I'm going to die. But I've seen
sounds like a JoJo's plot.
But I've seen that this is also going to happen after I die. But I've also seen that this person's going to absorb my memories. So I better just start saying stuff now so that my memories get absorbed and possibly they'll be able to make sense of this.
It doesn't help that like the precise nature of his prophetic abilities are very much vague and not important. What matters is that he has them.
Which makes it all possible later.
Exactly. Oh,
It's the only thing that could possibly convince me that Wazukian might be better than Bondrewd if this 5D god level chess plays start happening in the future.
So I think I've at least exhausted my notes of points I wanted to get to. Was there anything else anyone else wanted to get to? Specific things that they liked the most, that they sparked your thoughts? What do you guys have?
I mean, not really a whole lot. I'm just like, I'm literally sitting here thinking about how upset I am that like,
Mhm.
it's who knows when and if we'll get more of this. Honestly,
Oh
this has
gosh,
probably
yeah.
been one of my just favorite shows,
hmm
like around the board that we've done, like with me as a group with y'all.
Oh
I
yeah, this
really, really, really like this one. And it's like, well, the manga is barely even ahead of where this is now, and it took 20 years for them to animate this one. Who knows?
Well, we know we're getting something. We just don't know
Mhm.
what it is yet. And I don't
Right.
think they would announce unless they were making something. So we could be looking forward to more OVAs, like the commenter said, or a movie. I think OVAs or a movie are probably more likely than a new season.
right.
Didn't
I feel
they?
like the move to add filler in between would probably be the way to go here. Like an OVA
Didn't
is
they make
exactly
an?
what they need.
Didn't they make an OVA or a movie that just explained the whole plot of the first season?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah, they did.
probably what this is going to be then.
could
Honestly,
be.
my
Mhm.
guess.
Well, I mean, if you recall, they made 2 movies explaining the first season, and the third movie was new stuff. So, if they just repeat themselves, we're going to be looking at 2 movies and then a third movie with new stuff, which, actually, that would make a whole lot of sense. One movie with just Rico's group and them
Mhm.
coming through, and then one movie of just the background of Azuki and a gang coming through. And then
Mhm.
a new movie with, I don't know, whoever would be the new Bondrewd of. Could be Bondrewd again.
Andrew shows up again at a deeper level and goes, "Oh yeah, no, I set this. I came down here
What's up?
100 years ago.
Well,
I'm just hanging."
that's what I'm saying, we've already seen in this season that Bondrewd went down here and possibly further. So, could be a new Bondrewd, could even be Bondrewd. Why not?
Oh boy.
Don't fix what's not broken, right?
So both of our quote unquote like antagonistic movers could literally show up again at any time. That's what we've established here. The characters aren't over. They
Well,
can
I
just
mean,
show up.
we also know that time dilation is a thing, right?
hmm
Wazukian from the past could come back up. Who the hell knows? Literally. We don't understand how time dilation works here.
The group encounters an even younger Bondrewd before like before he's become even crazier than he is now.
I mean, here's a pitch. They start going down into the layer 7, and young Liza starts coming down. Because how the fuck does time dilation work? We reach her
That would
before
be
it even started.
hilarious. Yeah, they reach her before she started, and then she sets all of this up with them for their past selves to come down here and experience everything to complete the loop.
Yeah, that'll make me hate this show.
Or layer 7 is where all the robot people come from. And that'll be where Reg
Yeah.
gets repaired or whatever.
They've
I really
seeded
hope so.
enough
That would be
robots
awesome.
here. Yeah.
Well, we
I'd
know
love
that
robot
they're all basically extinct. That
Yeah.
Reg is the last one. But that doesn't mean that the factory or, whatever they got made, the ruins of or whatever couldn't still be there.
hmm
And thus, be open to exploring and maybe automation still exists there and we can find out if World War III did happen or not. I'm still on full
Well,
on
I mean,
board
you've
with.
already discussed like it resets every 2,000 years because of the disease or whatever. So I mean, we have the answer now.
Right. I think I forgot to mention that I think part of it, theory-wise, was closeness to the abyss also brings about the disease, so people would abandon the area, which is
Yes.
why when the Wazukians group got there, it was basically like no city at all.
Yeah.
And that you had like a temple only 30 meters down with people there. So clearly, again, not much there. They didn't explore it in the anime all that much, and apparently it was a big thing for like season 1.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of like that theory.
I mean, maybe they're like wrapping it all up and something to hit us with later. Like, we didn't mention it in season 1 or season 2, and lampshaded it. Well, we lampshaded it with one kid being sick in season 1, and when lampshaded it in Bondrewd, mentioning it a little bit in the movie, and now we're just gonna do a whole season 3 about it, or something. You know, it's possible.
Like, to me, it strikes me as a detail that you put into a story because you think maybe it could be used later, but you are not committed to using it. Like, they could, the author here could change tracks and make it something completely different. It's just like, oh yeah, the birthday thing, that was just a fun detail, don't worry.
Well, I mean, it could also be like,
or they could expand on it.
It could be a media-only thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the commenters told us that the package going up, where they communicated with like leadering people, was anime only. That didn't happen in the manga. So it could be entirely possible that we get a communication thing again. I mean, I don't know how, now that we have like a bathysphere to go through, but whatever.
Right, yeah, the how does this happen suddenly is a lot weirder, right?
Oh, that was the theory of the abyss getting deeper that I had mentioned before was tied into the every 2,000 years thing. The abyss gets deeper and the sickness happens. But that was stretching to the theory point. That's not part of the manga or anything, that the abyss gets deeper every 2,000 years.
Yeah, that's just a fun idea, which is good.
Well, people were tying it into the temple gets deeper with dead bodies every 2,000 years, apparently. And they thought, oh, well, maybe the abyss gets deeper every 2,000 years. And that would explain why creatures are coming up. Like the bugs are coming up from deeper layers and everything like that.
Yeah. So let's see. Is that all the thoughts we got here on Made in Abyss for today?
Let me pour through because last chance to get any thoughts out and share them with people that care.
Yeah, check out all your notes.
Thanks for caring, guys.
Yeah, love every one of you who's like out there who came with us on this absolutely horrific journey. You're just as masochistic as we are, and we appreciate it.
Well, the thing is that the viewers on YouTube are 2 episodes behind us.
Well, they'll get that thanks in 2 more episodes.
No, I'm telling you out loud that I'm carrying this through the same way that I am with the Witch from Mercury comments, that we have got comments after we've recorded the last episode. So,
yeah,
I'm going to be keeping my pulse on the comments in these last 2 episodes and picking the best ones so that when we have something to react to again, those people that care, they're going to be responded to.
Yeah. Alright, so you're going through your notes there, Shy. Nothing left on your brain, right?
No, gosh, no. I'm
Absolutely
getting
exhausted.
really sleepy, so my brain's going poo.
Understandable. So Theta, it's up to you.
I wasn't going through any notes. I was actively saying stuff out loud for the commenters, but
okay.
I can't really think of anything else. Going down. I mean, there was the note that Rico got from her mother that the city dweller had. But all we really saw in that, I don't know if you guys saw anything.
It looked like a monster diagram.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because she didn't unfold it or anything. So all we saw was like a big old woolly guy.
Oh, that'd be a fun detail to go over later. Like, has this been literally seeded? Did it just get lost? Or what's up with the page and what's on it?
Well, because her notes
which
had
we'll
to
find
go.
out later.
Her notes had to go from wherever the fuck Liza is down there to the surface. And that followed the manga, apparently. unlike the Chinese balloon that they sent up from the bottom of the abyss to the top, which was anime only.
Right. So I think if that's like the last little detail we have here, I think I'd probably just wrap up by saying, the reason I love this series so much is that it is just amazing storytelling that is driven by the characters and their emotions, so that every single thing that happens is also their emotional beats. There is no filler, there is no emptiness. Every single thing matters here, and that is why I absolutely love it. It is excellent. That would be my final concluding statement here.
I mean, it's everything you care about dies in the end.
I mean, I love that part too. I'm with the author. I'm just like, they're dying. This is great.
It's very much that sensation of nobody dies until you forget about them, and I think they literally said that this episode. But it's the series, right? Like,
yes.
So long as our entire main cast doesn't die, we won't forget everybody we met along the way, and we'll never see again. And probably
Wait, is Rico holding all these souls hostage by not forgetting them?
No. Remember, Mitty wandered off after helping Rico. So
I'm just trying to be funny.
Rico is now going to combine into the Mega Soul and grow like 50 feet, but retain this exact same child proportion.
Shy, my problem is
I saw Gurren Lagann.
Shy, my problem is that I know you're joking, but I don't want to sign off on being wrong, because that'll just be a year and a half of comments. No, you're fucking wrong about this thing. And I'm the only one who responds to the commenters, so I don't want to leave myself up on a job.
So are you happy with how wrong you
That's
were?
Fair.
In that case, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here for today and for this season. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everyone. I'm Griffin. That's Theta. And that's Shy. And we've been watching Made in Abyss, and we'll catch you when they come out with more stuff. See you around, everyone. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?